Hello everyone, I am Angie Christensen, and as we are just finishing up the Christmas season and we are in the middle of all this winter weather and I'm sitting in front of my ocean mural in my bedroom dreaming of warmer weather, this is the time of year when we are all thinking about what we want most. We kind of have transitioned from this Christmas season from thinking about what we can give and what we can share, and as we go into the new year we start to think about what we want most, what we want to create this year, what we want to experience this year. And as I've been thinking about that, and I'm sure you're thinking about that, I had a little tidbit I wanted to share. This is something I learned the hard way, but it is also something that was a life-changing lesson for me. So if health is something that you are thinking about, if health is one of the things you would like to create and experience on a deeper level this year, I want to share with you a way to look at that is very counterintuitive in our culture today, but in my own experience was the mind shift that created the most dramatic change in my health in my life. So because it's the new year, you are likely getting emails and commercials and things on your newsfeed and everything that are products to improve your health, that are diets to improve your health, because we live in a commercial consumer society and that's how we're used to doing things and it's how we're used to solving problems. But you are a divine created being, and you aren't a being that's designed to operate on products, right? You are a divine being that was created by God and that lives in this world created by Him. And the results that we most deeply seek can only be had by bringing ourselves in alignment with the law or the principle or the method that God has already preordained to bring about the result that we want. And usually when we're not getting what we want, it is just because somewhere we are ignorantly out of alignment there. We're like this, and we find ourselves kicking up against a wall because we can't get the results that we want, when really all we need to do is do this and things fall into place. So let me share you an example of how that operated in my life with my health. So some of you may know, but the most dramatic change I've ever experienced in my life happened to me a little more than 20 years ago. And it was at a point when my health was a complete disaster. It was because I was like this. The diagnosis as I was dealing with, I had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I was on 3 prescriptions a day for that. I had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which at some times would have me just doubled over non-functional in pain. I had interstitial cystitis, which is a bladder inflammation disorder. And I was also dealing with anxiety and depressions and things because of all of these other health issues that I was dealing with. And then the biggest one was I was dealing with highly aggressive endometriosis that had resulted in 6 surgeries for me without any progress. In fact, they had taken out part of my colon, had to take out my appendix, they'd had to take out all these things that were in my abdominal cavity that had been destroyed by the endometriosis. And so I was in a place that's like about as far off of alignment as you could get. And I was living the results of that. And when I had exhausted every medical option I could find, and I kind of hit rock bottom and finally admitted, what I'm doing is not working. I need to do this differently. And that was the shift for me. And as I moved forward in a different way, what I was then seeking, even though I didn't know it at the time, was I was trying to understand these laws. I was trying to understand what was it I needed to do to bring myself in harmony so that my health could shift. And I really only changed one thing, and that was I gained an understanding of where I had ignorantly been out of alignment, and I made that change. And when I did that, the irritable bowel syndrome was completely gone within 3 weeks. The interstitial cystitis was gone within a number of weeks. I was off all of my fibromyalgia prescriptions within about a year, and the endometriosis became completely asymptomatic for me. Like the pain was gone, the surgeries were gone. I still technically had endometriosis in there, but it no longer had a impact on my life. And it was like my diagnosis, my medical chart just got wiped clean, and I started over. And the only thing that changed was an understanding of what I needed to do to get back into alignment. Now, I also want to share with you that not only did these principles change my life 20 years ago, but this, I truly believe, is how my family has had a 0 COVID incident for the last 3 years. Without doing any of the things, the products, the processes, the things that have been thrown at us as what we needed to do for the last 3 years, our family was able to just block all of that out and do what we were already doing, which is having these things in alignment. And our family of 5 people who have traveled to 3 different countries and multiple states and lived our life and done all of that, we have had a 0% instance of COVID in our house. This is why. Because the solution to help in any situation is to have our lives in harmony with the laws of how our body operates. And the amazing thing about learning how to bring yourself in alignment with these principles is the other thing that comes with it is joy. Because when we are in alignment, joy is the result. And so even though I did have to make adjustments in how I was eating and how I was approaching my health, those were not things that brought restriction, fear, limitation, any of those things, because they weren't those kinds of adjustments. They weren't diets. It was learning how to bring myself into harmony with how God had designed my body to work so that my body could work. And when I did that, it actually brought joy. And so my relationship with food didn't become one of war or a battle. It became one of joy. And it also was now bringing me health. And so I want to suggest to you that if health is on your agenda for this year, think of it as the steps that you can take to bring yourself into alignment. And that if that is really what you are doing, not only will health be the result, but joy will be the result as well. So if you would like to join me in this process, if that is something that sounds like it would be helpful to you, I would like to invite you to join me. For the very first time this year, for 2023, I am going to be doing a 5-month weekly mentorship process where I walk you through this, where I will help you find the places where you are out of alignment, and I will help you overcome the obstacles you have, whether those be emotional obstacles in your way, family obstacles in your way, schedule obstacles in your way, whatever, to help you actually not only understand the principles to bring yourself into the alignment to bring the health and happiness you want, but also to help you figure out how to get over whatever individual obstacles that you have in your life. Now, if you know that is what you want, I have an early bird special, and you can sign up now and you can join me in a weekly meeting on Wednesday evenings for the next 5 months. and you can experience all of the transformation that comes from that process of coming into alignment. If you are not sure if that would be helpful for you, but you are curious about this approach, I invite you to join us for the first class for free and just come and see how this works, see how this process works, and see if it resonates for you, and see if this might be what you have been seeking, the missing piece that you have been needing to be able to achieve the health that you desire. And together we can help you to achieve this. No diets, no restrictions, no products, just gaining an understanding of how your divine body works, how God set it up to work, and how you can quit ignorantly doing things that keep pulling you out of alignment so that things in your body can fall into place. So I will put the link below if you guys would like to either sign up for that early bird special and jump right in and join me, or if you would like to come to the first class free and join me so that you can see what this is all about. But this really can be the year you finally understand how all those pieces can fit together to bring you what you really, really want.